So yeah, Todd, man, welcome back. It's you're at a fight week again. I know you've probably been asked about the comeback over and over, but now that you're actually here and going through it, what's it like? Is it bringing back a lot of old feelings?
Yeah, bringing back old memories, but it's really the same to me. Like I feel like you guys have made a bigger deal about the absence than me, you know, because I feel like I was still involved. I was still training full time. I was as full time as I could. You know, I went through my rehabs. It's the same old hat, really, you know. A little older. That's it.
What about actual events? Like, did you do any like cornering or like go to fight weeks with teammates or anything like that?
Yeah, I did a few, but it's all the same, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just fighting. It's a fist fight at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
with feet and kicks and knees and such.
Right. In fairness, though, the UFC like operation has changed a lot since different owners, different sponsors, all those kind of things. So like, I'm sure it's some of the same faces, but does it feel a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, but it's just always, the UFC's had it dialed in pretty well always, so it's just pretty well-oiled machine. You just kind of do as you're told and kind of get through the week, and then boom, you're fighting.
Yeah, totally. So why was this the right time to make the comeback after, all these years? Why did this work out where other I
mean, I sat out for 2 years over a contract. Right. It's been well documented. I hate keep having to talk about it. It's silly. Like, You can't fight for 10 and 10 to make a living. Right. Not when an average guy fights 1.8 times a year. Flat out. I couldn't do it. I fought in a main event, the top of the world. It is what it is. I'm tired of talking about it with you guys. You guys know the truth. I am tired of you guys trying to make me fall on the sword when you guys need to step up your game. So there was 2 years of that. I came back. I got an injury. Took me a year to recover. I came back again. I literally called Mick, said, "Hey, I'm ready to fight." We talked about the Canada Moncton or whatever card. Moncton, and went and sparred the next day with Blagway at the Tough Gym. I fell through the cage, blew out my knee. Here we are a year later, ready to fight, It just kind of is how the sport goes. I wish I wouldn't have sat out those 2 years with the contract, but I mean, my God, bro. I mean, what do you guys want me to do?
Yeah. No, it's completely. When you say we need to step up our game, what do you mean by that?
You guys are making me come out and talk about this, and I shouldn't have to. You guys should be able to. I mean, Joe Rogan's on his podcast making fun of it. Right. It's like, dude, you fought for a main. It's just like. I'm tired of like every interview is like, well, what? I was like, you know exactly why I sat out for 2 years. It's not a secret. What are we doing this for? We're not doing this for any other reason. Yes, our egos. Yes, pride fighting was a thing, but now this is about money. Right. It's always been about money. Why are we pretending? Of course I want to win. Of course I want to fight. Of course I love fighting. This is a great way to make a living. It's exciting. It's fun. It gives you opportunities that you could only dream of, and experiences that you're living a life of on volume 10 when everybody else is on volume 6. But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. I got injured twice. I'm a big heavyweight. I train hard. Bad luck. I mean, I fell through a cage. Like, what are you gonna fucking do? Yeah. I literally I talked to Mick. I think we text even. I'm like, Mick, I'm ready. He's like, what do you think of that Moncton car? I was like, cool. The next day I'm at the Tough Gym. Shit happens,
Right.
It's happened to guys in fights at that gym I've seen, over the years. So they just got their ankle. I got my whole knee in there.
And I mean, you mentioned the contract stuff, and it seems like you have reasons for doing what you did. But during that time, I'm sure you want to be fighting. I imagine.
Yeah, no, I totally regret it. But it is what it is. I couldn't get support. How did I pay for camp? I couldn't get anything going. Nobody around me was like, "Oh yeah, let's get behind this." Or I was like, "No, this is crazy." I'm tired of talking about it, though. I really am. Like, I'm tired of being the bad guy. You guys, as the media, need to go out and speak the truth. That's just, like, the average guy fights how many times a year, do you think? If you had to get?
Two.
About 2. Yeah. Almost 2, not even 2. Yeah. Right?
Lucky if you get 3.
Yeah, you're amazing if you get 3.
If you're Donald Cerrone, you might get 4.
Might get 4 because he gets a little bit of extra pickings.
Yeah.
All right. Let's discuss, Like, if you're fighting for 10 and 10 and you fight 1.9 times, you're making how much money? Yeah. How are you getting by?
After paying your coaches.
Yeah, this is a full-time sport now. This is as big and as hard and as real. It's the toughest sport in the world. Yeah. Race car driving is not as tough. Mountain bike riding, nothing touches this sport as far as like the level of commitment. So it's a full-time job, and it's more than a full-time job. It's a 24/7 job. So I don't know. I'm just here. I just did 3 interviews about this shit. I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it out on you, I guess.
No, it's fine. But I mean, in those things, did it come out like, what do you find is the solution? Because there has been these things to get fighters to organize and all those kind of things. Is there a way to make it work, or do you think this is just how it is, considering how big?
I don't want to get myself in any trouble here. Sure. Like, it's very evident. Like, I mean, they have a business model that's been well documented. So
Yeah, no, in fairness.
And it doesn't match up with the other business models that are out there in the major sports.
Yeah, fair enough. Well,
but I mean, at the end of the day, my solution is I have to win fights, I have to compete, I have to stay consistent. So that's my job.
Yeah.
I have to prove my worth. I thought I had done a good job of that by being one of the most exciting heavyweights. And Mick agreed. Mick, I'm so thankful for Mick. He's given me this opportunity. I'm not here to complain about that at all. I'm in a good shoes now, but when I have to explain every time why you sit out for 2 years, you guys know.
Right.
You guys are smirking when you ask me. It's so annoying. Like you're like, so what? It's like, come on. So at this point, it's my 4th interview today. I'm a little annoyed, but it's just like, I don't want to have to be the bad guy. I don't want to have to sound like I'm not. At this point, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to fight. Am I mad that I lost those 2 years? Yes. What can you do? I've lost 2 years for other bullshit reasons like injuries and other stuff. So it's just life.
So while you're doing that, I mean, how much are you focusing on training and everything? Like, are you in the gym every day? Do you still feel like you're...
I talked to Brett Okamoto, and he's like, over that 4 years, every time I came to AK, you were there. And I was.
Yeah.
So that says everything I can. I did the best I could, with my circumstances, for sure. I haven't really let up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, your style, you like to knock people out, you like to get in there, be exciting. I imagine, those basic principles are still the same as before, but in terms of like the more refined details, whether it's mentally or physically, how are you different?
I think mentally I'm just a lot older. I'm a lot more mature.
Yeah.
I don't know that, like, I think I've had some wild fights. Like, Frank is the one that brought the fight to me last time, honestly. I got caught in a firefight. I think I was out on my feet probably from the first or second exchange. I ran into left-handed, this big nasty left hand, and probably had 5 more after that. And I was in a fight. But I mean, there's been some other times where I bring the fight. But if you look, I mean, I'm a martial artist at the end of the day. I'm fighting a martial artist. He's not gonna just let me come run after him and hit him once and be done. This is a fight. It's going to be a lot of tactical fighting. But I think the biggest change with me is just my maturity, probably. I haven't displayed it in this interview per se, but just I enjoy the sport a little more. It's not as stressful as it once was. That's probably the biggest change.
Yeah.
I'm still just as athletic and exciting, I'm sure. Skill set's always been there. I haven't maybe displayed it as much, but it's a heavyweight fight. The first 2-3 minutes, it's hard to be a tactical tactician.
For sure.
When guys are throwing nothing but heat,
Yeah. So does it almost, because I know you've been competing for a long time, especially fighters.
14 years.
Yeah, exactly. Does it almost feel like, something different though, or when, like, what are you expecting for fight night? Is it going to be more nerve-wracking than maybe if you had been doing this consistently going in?
Oh, it's always easier when you fight than you fight again 8 weeks later. My favorite times in my career have been when I fought and then like 3 weeks later I got to fight again. I'm sure I'll have the nerves. They haven't hit me yet. But that's good. I wasn't nervous when I fought Frank Mir. It didn't work out good. So, I mean, I'm going to embrace it. And if I'm not, so be it. I'm in there to fight. This is a fist fight. This is about getting your opponent to quit or stop it.
Yeah.
It's a wild, wild sport. Again, it's a full commitment sport. You're risking your life. And I just don't think you guys grasp that yet. I haven't. It's insulting. Again, I haven't followed your journalist career that much, but like at the end of the day, you guys have got to tout that way better than you have. It's insane. Like, I guess you guys get numb. Yeah, the risk element. You guys get numb to the fact, like, look at these older fighters and what's going on in their lives right now.
Right.
Look at them. Why? Why do you think that is? What makes them different than all these other athletes? Why do they line up so much more with these NFL athletes? Why is it like, stop? Yeah. Cut the BS, guys. Like, do your job. Honestly, like, and it's not you I'm necessarily talking about. It's the whole media blanket.
Sure.
Like, just stop the crap. And I don't know, I've done 4 of these today and I'm kind of fed up with it. It's just like, man, you guys are still in the same sugarcoating it, like pretending, and like, bro, this is the real, the motto of the UFC is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, what more do you need?
Yeah, and I guess part of it too is, we don't really know part of it as well, right? This is such a young sport.
Brendan Schaub knows.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's a part of you guys now,
Right.
I think he does a good job. I mean, there's a lot of guys that do a good job about it, but this like sugarcoating it, like for people not to understand Kobe right now, what do you not understand?
Right.
Like what he did, like, I don't know. Too many interviews today, guys.
Yeah, in fairness,
again, it's not you. It's just the whole media blanket. Like, you guys are watching your words. You're worried about losing your credentials. You're worried. Do your job. And I'm not you, not the guy that's listening to this, taking this personal. And if you're taking it personal, it probably is you. You know, like, but it's just sad because like this is the realest sport. It doesn't get scarier. I'd rather go to war because then it's just like, well, let's flip a coin. Now I don't have to take all this self-responsibility. I have a team around me. Right. This is a single person sport. And you are fighting for your life, not just your life, your livelihood, and maybe your family's livelihood. I haven't been selfish enough to start a family. Right. Just simply because it's like, well, how could I? How could I put somebody else through that? I don't know, I'm ranting on you.
No, I mean, it's super interesting because like part of you're obviously doing this because you enjoy it. And
I love to compete. At the end of the core fundamental element of this for me is I'm living at volume 10. Right. I'm experiencing things that I would never experience if I was just like hanging out in the gym, just kind of doing it like as a hobby. I love it. I love to compete. Like this is the highest level. Like this is the most in-depth way to compete for a human, I think. Like you're competing against the smartest organism we know currently in the universe. They signed a contract, and in 8 weeks they're going to be fighting you. So they're everything they're doing is to beat you, is to hurt you, is to finish your life. Right. You know, they're trying to take from you. I can't think of anything else more competitive.
Is that your main driving force at this point? Because obviously, if you can go 4 years, without fighting and you're not living on the streets or something, you were able to get through life. So it doesn't seem like you 100% need this.
No, I left a free college, like a college scholarship to sign with the UFC. Like I'm not dumb.
Right.
Nobody needs to fight. I think that's the really like it's constantly, even for me, it's always been this. What do you call it? Like not catch-22, but just like I've been pulled in two different ways. It's been a confliction. It's like, well, I don't have to do this. Why am I doing it? I'd love to do this. I'm addicted to this. It's a drug. Fighting's a drug. I'm sure Cowboy and these guys, Gaethje, talk about it. Gaethje will tell you the truth about this stuff too. You know, he's done a good job, but it's you guys, man. I'm tired of answering these silly questions, these like softball smirk type questions. It's like, you know the answer. You could help us fix a lot of this. And it's just you guys are like, oh, I got to keep my credentials and I'm making more money than you. That's crazy. That's fucking insane. Because you probably are. I have to bet.
No comment on that.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, like, I mean, this is the premier sport of the world. I think we surpassed the UFC or the NFL and Instagram followers. I mean, this is it. Like, we're almost there. We should, like, the prestiginess of this has to be picked up. The media has to quit smacking these fighters around and lift these guys up for who they are. They're champions. Everybody that fights in the UFC is a champion. It's the ultimate fighting championships. Okay, cool. This guy's got a belt. It's a razor difference between the guy and the next guy, you know? Yeah. That's why that belt changes hands. I don't know. I've done too many interviews, and I got all these BS questions of like them trying to set me up, and here I am finally going off on it.
Right. Well, no, I appreciate the honesty. and I think a lot of people watch this and agree with a lot of what you said, and I agree with a lot of what you said too. And yeah, we could sit here for hours.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I have a fight this Saturday. I'm excited. I got a very game opponent. He's tough. He likes to spin. He likes to kick. He likes to punch. It's going to be an exciting fight.
Awesome. And would you say the goal, as you mentioned, you feel at your best when you're competing often, is that just right now what it is, win this fight and try to just keep this thing going smoothly?
It's not my choice when I compete, right? So yeah, I just got to win. Hopefully I can go out there and get one of those Greg Hardy fights and I can get that 6-figure paycheck, and maybe they'll start signing guys that are subpar for me to fight too. That shit burns my ass. That's another, that one.
Is that a guy you'd like to fight at some point?
Yeah, I want to take his paycheck. He's getting 6 figures to fight guys that have been flunked out of the UFC on 0-3 records, and then why is nobody talking about that? Why aren't you guys telling the truth?
And I've been pretty critical of it over my time.
I haven't seen one headline.
We've
not one.
On our time.
Yeah, no. Again, I'm just saying I haven't.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing? I think he flat out deserves 100 and 100. That's great. He does. He's an exciting fighter.
But everyone probably does.
But everyone does. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll leave it on that. I know we could sit here for a long time unless you have anything else you want to say.
Come watch me Saturday, guys. I'm going to bring it like I always do.